This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this StockBox interview.
Well, today I'm joined by Dennis Edmonds, CEO of Kazera Global. Dennis, great to have you on again. How are you doing?
Hi, Dan. Well, very good, thank you. How about you?
Yes, it's really good, thanks. So earlier this week, you announced the closure of your retail offer, raising £262,000 at 1.5p a share to bring the total raised alongside last month's subscription to around £1.6 million. First of all, can you walk us through why Kazera felt it was important to include retail investors in this raise?
Retail investors have supported the company since 2006, its original IPO. Typically, in these fundraisers, they get excluded because of regulation and the fact that you go to biggest shareholders and try and close it that way. Being able to bring in the retail investors was a great opportunity and something we really wanted to do. We promised to do it, and we were able to do it. So that was the reason. And it also means that they can then participate in the future. They can share the alignment with the company that the rest of the bigger shareholders can have. And it's just the right thing to do and puts us in a really good position going forward.
Absolutely. So, yeah, and what does the strong response to the offer itself mean for the company?
It means, firstly, it shows the support that we have from our shareholders. Both our biggest shareholders, Electrocata and Capitalise, have been great support. But it is fantastic to know that the smaller shareholders are also there and also behind it and also share the vision of where the company is, recognize what's been achieved over the last year in terms of getting into production and the transformation of the company from that perspective, and want to be part of the growth of it and to support making that growth happen. So it's fantastic.
There's certainly been a lot of progress. So with the funds now in place, the obvious question is, how do you plan to deploy them across the business?
There are a number of different areas. Firstly, operationally, we will increase the ability to purify heavy mineral sands so we can produce a product which is purer in the volumes which we need to produce. Our big issue at the moment is that the volumes aren't big enough in terms of pure sand. And we need to remove that and to produce a greater level of purity. So that'll be the first thing. The second thing is we're missing out on a certain number of diamonds. Those are going into a stockpile, so we're not losing them completely, but we'd like to be processing, we'd like to be selling them. And our current system doesn't allow us to collect the bigger diamonds. So that's something that we'd like to see upgraded. And then we get to the other big issues, which is, we need to increase our operational resilience. The company is very dependent on a very small number of key people. We need to increase that. And we need to increase the capacity of the company to deal with bigger volumes. When 2A comes on board and we're dealing with much bigger volumes, it will be critical that we're ready to do that. I don't want at that stage be scrambling around trying to build the team. So, yeah, all those things. And then, of course, other operational stuff. The other operational things is getting out that sand. So a stockpile that is safe and properly secured from wind and rain and contamination, proper weigh bridges, proper ability to deliver to trucks, because moving 10,000 tons a month means an enormous number of trucks and an enormous number of logistical issues which we'll need to manage.
Definitely. It sounds then like the key message here is that you're preparing to scale up, I guess.
Yeah, very much. Preparing for the future in a controlled, strategic way rather than just throwing money at things. We're doing it very much on a building block basis.
Great. And let's talk numbers a bit, I guess. How do these plans support sustainable revenue growth moving forward?
Well, once we are producing a high quality heavy mineral sand, that is easily replicable into 2A. So that there is, firstly, it is profitable on its own. It becomes capable of being multiplied by as much as you like almost when 2A comes on board. And then the diamond production, again, it's very much a logical progression. We know that there are big diamonds there. We know that the big diamonds are where the real money is. And they are bigger than we had been anticipating. So we need to make sure that we are collecting them and selling them.
Absolutely. So I just want to return to 2A quickly. Can you just, you've touched on it a little bit, but can you just walk us through the optimization work you're doing and really how that helps you prepare to expand into a much larger scale operation when 2A does indeed arrive?
Yeah, I think the big point here, Dan, is that what we're doing on our current operation, which is 5 hectares at Wolfers Corp, is exactly the same thing we will be doing on 2A. The sands are almost identical, if anything, perhaps slightly purer on 2A. So what we're doing now and the optimization we're doing now will be very, very easily scalable for 2A. And that's the whole point, really.
Okay, cool. So what should shareholders expect over the coming months, both from 2A and perhaps across the wider business?
Well, production will be definitely enhanced in both heavy mineral sands and diamonds. Purity should be increased on heavy mineral sands. And then we should be seeing the granting of 2A and various other results coming through. I think it's going to be a very exciting time, but we're building on a solid base, I think, which is the really important point. This isn't speculative. It's a solid building block that we a solid foundation on which we're building.
Definitely, you're delivering on what you said you would do, for sure. So just finally, what message would you like to leave both retail and institutional investors with today?
Well, firstly, I'd like to thank them. It's fantastic having their support, and there's no greater proof of people's support than the fact that they would put their hands in their pockets and support the company. So that would be my first message. The second message would be that we are in a really good position. We are now, because of the fundraise, able to consolidate in our plans and build on the knowledge that we already have. And then thirdly, the future looks really, really exciting. So I think the company is in a better position than it's probably ever been in terms of finance, opportunities, and strategy. I think we're in a much stronger position than we've ever been in before. And the future looks incredibly promising.
Great. That's a perfect point to end on, I think. Thank you again for your time today, Dennis, and I look forward to catching up again soon.
Thanks, Dan.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.